It is Thursday, and don't ever tell me you don't have games to play. Look at this. Look at the list. Look at it. We got RoboCop Rogue City coming day and date to GeForce Now. This is a really, really great development. Now, something similar happened with Lies of P just a few weeks ago when that released. Well, it was a little more than a few weeks ago. But anyways, Lies of P, very well received game, very respected. Might be up for some awards for Game of the Year. Let's see, maybe a nomination or two. Beautiful game, well received. RoboCop Rogue City is not getting Lies of P levels of acclaim. It is getting good, average, solid game reviews, like a B movie or a B game or a double B, double A, whatever. Rogue City is it. Looks like a rip-roaring good time. Will it win awards? Maybe not, but it'll definitely give you a good weekend. So RoboCop coming day and date. This isn't like some big AAA title, but it is a, how do you say? It's a tentpole title. And that it's coming to GeForce Now day and date with other platforms, it just gives us more evidence that GeForce Now is beginning to be recognized as a legitimate platform that gets games with along with all the other guys, Xbox, Steam, PlayStation. And that's just so great to see. I love the support these studios are giving it. So show some love to that. Check out the reviews on Steam. Legitimately looks great. But this is the weird thing. That isn't even the biggest news of the week. It's kind of the headline, fair enough. But man, there's other stuff coming. Endless Dungeon is coming. That looks like a pretty good dungeon crawler. Slightly Diablo-ish. Great looking graphics. Talos Principle 2, a long-awaited sequel to a very well-respected puzzle game, considered one of the greats. Very thought-provoking, excellent design. Talos Principle 2 is going to be a very interesting one to watch with the reviews. Jassant, or is it Jasson? I'm American. Anyways, that game, get on CloudDosage.com, go to the article, look at the link for that. You can link right to the Xbox page or the Steam page, right there from CloudDosage, or just Google it, I guess, whatever. That game looks so good. And it really like a legitimately interesting new take on puzzle platforming. It's like a rock climbing puzzly platformer. Looks good. And then, of course, there's Kingdoms Reborn, which is actually in early access right now. But if you're into the whole city builder, think like SimCity, but maybe like fantasy medieval, maybe a little bit, but can also eventually be like SimCity. So it's like city skylines, but cities like hill climb. That's a bad joke. Anyway, good week. Good week. Headbangers Rhythm Royale. I'm really interested to see if that one holds up. Kind of seems like one of those free-to-play party, hey, let's get 100 people in here. Let's see if the kids like this kind of thing. Looks like it has a lot of personality. Let's see if it sticks around. You never can tell with kids these days. There's also existing GFN games getting more store support. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 now via Epic Game Store, which is great if that's your platform of choice. F1 Manager, very nice, especially for our British friends. They love their F1 racing games, especially the F1 Manager. Now, this being the week that it is, we're in a preview week for November. This is so fun. Not a lot of AAA November stuff. Now, what we are not seeing on this list, let's talk about the things that are noticeably absent, okay? November 11th, Call of Duty is supposed to be coming out. We do not see Call of Duty here. Now, why is that significant, Blee? Well, I'll tell you why it's significant. Thank you for asking. The reason that's significant is Microsoft promised GeForce Now would get Call of Duty. And to my knowledge, don't quote me, but I think that's day and date. Now, could GeForce Now maybe just failed to put that in the press release. Maybe. Is Microsoft telling GeForce Now to keep it quiet until after launch? Maybe. Does GeForce Now want it to be a stealth drop? Maybe. My laundry's done. So there's questions. It's just strange. Do I think Call of Duty is going to come to GeForce Now? Yeah, I do. I don't have a lot of worries about it coming to GeForce Now. Microsoft literally signed a contract. Call of Duty 3, more than likely, coming to GeForce Now. But is it going to be there on launch day? And it might not, because of the time frame on when the deal with Microsoft and Activision actually closed. Was there enough time between that deal closing and the release of Call of Duty 3? Of course, they're in crunch mode right now. They're about to release the game in only a week or so. And GeForce Now, admittedly, is probably a low priority. They're thinking about Xbox. They're thinking about PlayStation. They're thinking about Steam. GeForce Now is small potatoes in the grand scheme of things at the moment. And they want to make sure that this launch goes smoothly. And so maybe GeForce Now is just kind of falling by the wayside because of these, them just being where they are in the development process. But Call of Duty not being released ASAP on GeForce Now puts Microsoft in hot water, because regulators aren't going to turn a blind eye to it, for one. And secondly, regulators aren't really going to understand the technicalities contractually with Call of Duty not arriving day and date. Because if Call of Duty's running on Steam, no reason why it couldn't just run on GeForce Now right away, right? So what's keeping Call of Duty from GeForce Now is really just contract stuff. And it's on Microsoft to sort that out really quick. Gonna be interesting to see how long it takes. I think it'll happen soon. I suspect, and I don't know anything, this is pure conjecture, okay? But I suspect it happens within a month of launch, but I really don't think it happens day and date. I think probably they've got so much going on right now with the merge happening when it is happening, so late in the year, so close to the launch of Call of Duty. I think right now GFN is just getting kind of put to the side for now. Let's wait till after launch, and then we'll just launch it a week or 2 or 3 after launch. I think that's the way they're thinking about it. And fair enough. They got to get the game out. But it's interesting that it's not on the list. So let's keep our eyes out for that. All right, enough about Call of Duty. Let's now start talking about the other games coming. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to have to read into these because I've never heard of most of these. Let's talk about the ones I have heard of. Stronghold Definitive Edition. That's a 40-year-old game. Onimusha Warlords. That's about a 25-year-old game. Wolfenstein: The Own Blood. That's a series that's about 50 years old. That's that. I'm exaggerating. It's not that old. Anyway, actually, it might be about as old as Stronghold, I think. I'd have to Google that. The Old Blood, of course, was a PS4 game. That was the, wasn't that the expansion to New Blood? Yeah, it was. And then there was New Colossus. Anyway. All right, and then there's more GFN games getting store support. This one's going really long, isn't it? It's because we were spending so much time talking about Call of Duty. Anyways, the store support's great. Overcooked 2, this is a little weird because there's an Overcooked all-you-can-eat edition that has just like, it's the better package. Why wouldn't you? It's a little weird. Surge 2, nice. Can't go wrong with more Souls-likes. Thymesia, another Souls-like. I like it. Hearts of Iron 4, not a Souls-like, but cool. And then we can't. Give me more simulators. Bus Farm, Jurassic, I don't know what Trailmakers is. West of Dead Simulator. Just all the we're I'm being a little sarcastic here, but this is a great week. Like, we've been talking this whole time. This is jam-packed. This is stuff. It's delicious, is what it is. I'm so happy for GeForce Now. We are getting a lot of games I've never heard of. And, indies, super indies, let's call them, obscure indies. But we're also getting some like legit AAA video games. Saints Row 4. Ooh, that's nice. And I'm liking it. Please keep it coming, people. For the rest of the news, you should stick to GeForce Now. The other thing that's happening this week, got some new Netflix news. A lot going on in the Netflix world. Boostroid's got new games. Utomic's got new games. And you can see those articles on CloudDosage.com. And of course, as games come and go from Game Pass and games come and go from PlayStation Plus, you will see those articles on CloudDosage. So you can always be privy to what you can and can't play when you're away from your box. You know what? You have a great day. And I'll see you again next week. Stay well. Take your vitamins. And stay